Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Flow Founders Talk from Temi, an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustaining businesses and promising startups. Today on the show, guys, we've got a new guest, Valentin, co-founder of Hamelyn. Valentin, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Good.
Thank you for coming. Valentin, before we get started, what I'd like to do, I want to give you the floor just to explain to the listeners a little bit about who is Valentin, a little bit about Hamelyn, and also one interesting fact about you.
All right. So, was born in 1991 in Seville, small town, very nice town in the south of Spain. Lived actually quite a long time in the UK and the US during my professional and academic years, and launched Hamelyn about 3 years ago. Yeah, and we've been growing fast.
Nice.
And I love books. I'm an avid reader. And that's one of the reasons why we started Hamelyn, and the first product category that we launched with was books. So, yeah, that's one of the main reasons for it.
Interesting. I can hear the British accent, obviously, in your accent as well, which is very
Too much time in the UK.
a lot of time, for sure. Tell me, Valentin, you said you love books. What is your most favorite book?
Made in America is the story of, autobiography, I would say, Sam Walton, which is the founder of Walmart. And for those people that love retail and how companies are launched and built, Walmart is one of the largest companies right now in the world, and over 2 million employees or something like that. So knowing the whole story is really, really interesting. So that would be my favorite.
Nice. Okay. And is there a specific one? Obviously, you said this is kind of business related, so I haven't read that one myself. Is there a specific one you would recommend to our readers, listeners, today to listen to become a better entrepreneur?
Well, there's loads. I normally love biographies because it's not, they don't get too much technical, but they tell you the man or woman behind, the brand and the company and how they started and everything. So Walt Disney, for example, has a really, really nice biography, and it's actually not translated into Spanish. So it's only in English. And biographies are really nice, from, Elon Musk one, the new one that's been launched, Sam Walton, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, those are inspiring. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What we're going to do before we get started to go into the world of everything that you're doing, I want to ask you some quick questions, rapid fire, just to use it as a baseline for our further conversation. So as an entrepreneur, Valentin, are you a morning person?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Morning starts at what time for you?
5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. Get to the office really early. And my co-founder is the opposite, because he's a technical guy, and he develops and everything and programs during the night. So he's not an early bird. So we complement each other.
That's definitely something I find from all the tech guys is generally they are night owls, if anything, when they're working. Interesting. Does that mean that you finish your day earlier, or does that still mean that you finish your day as late as usual?
Well, as an entrepreneur, you don't really, officially you finish it at around 4:30, but that's like the normal schedule that we've got at the company, but that doesn't mean that your day ends there. So there's things to do the whole time. But I try to get most of the things. I've got like a really productive hours. That would be from 9:30 till 12:30, 1 p.m. I try to put all the things that from a brain point of view, that intellectually intense, put them there, and then leave the softer things for later.
Interesting. Tell me, are you a team worker or an independent worker?
I would say team one. Yeah, I would say team.
Are you a risk taker?
Yes, unconsciously, but yes.
Unconsciously, tell me more.
You're risk averse. Like when you launch a company, there's 99.9% that's going to fail. So if you take the statistics, it's definitely not the best decision to do it. But you're an optimist, and you're aiming for that 0.1% that's gonna work. So so it's like you just take the risk, and but sometimes you're unconscious, because if you knew what it's gonna take to get to the point you want to be, you probably wouldn't take the risk, but you do. So that's why
It's very
Probably ignorance.
interesting. We will go into that a little bit later in the podcast. Tell me, you were mentioning about, obviously, as an entrepreneur, you don't really clock out. Yes, you start earlier, but still finishing at 4 o'clock is a difficult thing to do as an entrepreneur. Do you have a work-life balance, and do you try to practice it?
Not really. I mean, you integrate work into your life, and that doesn't mean it. I think there's no way you're gonna build something great and huge from working from 9 to 5. So it's just you just integrate your work and your professional life into your normal life, personal life, and that's it. Although, you learn how to first 2-3 years of a company that really, really intense, and then after that, you, at least in my opinion, you tend to learn, how to do more with less and be more focused and less time, but much more productive and efficient. At the very beginning, it's just hours and hours and hours. Right now, it's a little bit more, smart, working smart.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess that moment of being able to delegate as well, that learning curve of delegating when it gets the 2-3 year mark, for sure. Tell me, with regards to, you said you're an early bird. What is it that, on more of a philosophical question, what is it that gets you up every morning? What is your motivation every day?
Long-term, I would say long-term vision. Throughout the whole journey of building a company, you're going to face up with loads of difficulties every single day, from small problems to problems that can risk the actual company. Some of the days, that you're gonna spend the whole day working on trying to solve those problems. So that's not really motivating itself. I mean, in my case, it's just the mid to long term vision of the company. You know what you're gonna get, and solving those problems is just needed in order to get to what you want to get. So money, and that's just an advice. It's normally not the best motivator. It's not the best driver, because if it's just that, you give up. Maybe not early, not in the very, very short term, but it's not. I mean, what you think is going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years normally take 10 to 15. So it's longer. We're here to look for longer than we anticipate.
Do you consider yourself to be a hands-on entrepreneur?
I am. Although I'm not the best operational guy ever. I like launching and the launching of the company, the business idea, the business model, the marketing, sales, business development, and all that. And but on the day-to-day, my co-founder Federico, he's much better than me. Organizing tasks and organizing what the company needs to do in order to reach our goal. Setting the goal is, I feel really comfortable with that. I'm more, different profile.
I'm still fascinated by your accent, because I've never met someone who just basically spent years in England and picked up such a British accent. It's amazing. Absolutely. Whereabouts in England were you?
Well, I was in a boarding school in the south of London, in Hastings, for a long time. But then in my professional years, I spent like 3 to 4 years. Basically, I had a sales team in the UK, so I would travel all over the country to all different places. So I know the UK quite well.
Nice, interesting, very, very interesting. Valentin, one more question for you. Are you happy? Obviously, 1 month or so left to this year. Are you happy with how the year has panned out for you?
Yes, quite happy. Things are going well. Obviously, lots of challenges and more to come. But I'm happy. I'm happy right now.
Now, tell me, just in a few words for our listeners again, tell us more about Hamelyn, where the idea came from. Was it something that you were trying to think of doing for a long time, or was it kind of one of those light bulb moments?
All right. So basically, our mission at Hamelyn is, to accelerate the transition to circular economy. And we do it by making it really easy for consumers to sell their unwanted items, their unwanted stuff. So the thing is that we saw how the experience of buying something online had improved, by an order of magnitude in the last 10 to 15 years. You just go into Amazon or any other online store, just pick your item, pay, 24, 48 hours, you get it delivered. However, the reverse, the opposite process, like, selling your unwanted items is just, you need to go to classifieds platforms, you need to upload product profiles, put prices, upload pictures, and meet physically with the person to exchange the item, cash, and everything. So we thought that whole process could be improved. So we started working on it.
So what has been the biggest challenge since you've founded your company? What has been the biggest challenge you've faced?
It's been operational because we've started with books, and obviously we give an instant valuation to customers for those books, those used books they want to get rid of. We need to collect those books for free. We need to take them to our premises, process them, and sell them globally, because we sell to over 60 different countries. So thousands of orders being shipped every day from our premises. And so I thought it was going to be technology, but technology, I think we've sorted out quite well, but it's being operational, like, bringing those items, processing those items, and selling those items, getting a margin out of that transaction. So that's been the biggest challenge.
And what has been the biggest learning curve for that?
In terms of the business, or in terms of, what we needed, as entrepreneurs? Like,
In terms of your personal journey, personal journey.
That would be high pain tolerance, I would say.
Interesting. High pain tolerance. Doesn't sound so attractive.
Because, things don't always go as planned.
For sure. Absolutely. Tell me a little bit more about that original MVP. Let's go back to the beginning days. What did the original MVP look like?
That was really, really simple. Federico is my co-founder. He built it from scratch. So it was something really, really simple that just gave an instant valuation to customers, scanning our books barcodes, and then all the front and the design. We did it with an external company, and then we would go into eBay and platforms like that, and those people who were selling books basically in lots, not obviously by the unit. We would contact them, negotiate a fixed price for each unit, and I would go with my car to collect those books for at the customer's house or whatever, and then we would upload them manually to Amazon, eBay, and all those platforms in order to see if there was demand for the product. And that's how we started. So it was really, really simple, very low investment. I think it was between probably 600, 700 euros or something that we spent on that product, first product. And then we took it from there.
Nice. I always get people on the show who tell me, if you're proud of your MVP, your original MVP, you waited too long to go to market. So
you're going slow.
Exactly. Tell me, you said at the beginning that it usually takes longer than you expected. What you thought would take you 5 years would take you 10 or 15. Where did you think you would be sitting now, 3 years after founding? Did you think you would be in the same place or further?
Definitely not, because I think you're building. I mean, you've got a vision, but you at the beginning, but it's definitely not as big as it is right now. Like you definitely don't anticipate that we would be selling over 2 million euros in revenue this year, over 200,000 orders this year. You just start by one, you sell one book, and you sell two. Then one day with the orders, then the next day you sell 4. And little by little, you're increasing your revenue and your number of orders. And then once you reach certain size, I would say that something changes and you start thinking that this can actually get pretty big. But definitely you don't have that vision on day one. You're just like, is this going to work? People are going to be demanding this product and at these prices, and but little by little.
I guess that's where the resilience comes in as well. The resilience and belief that it will work. Tell me, in regards to you said this year you were happy with success. Obviously, 1 month left. With the success that you've garnered this year, what do you hope to achieve next year?
We're going to scale the product categories that we work with right now, which is books, CDs, video games, and CDs, DVDs, and games. And there would be a very nice thing for us to be opening Portugal next year. first 6 months of next year, we will be opening Portugal, which is challenge for us because we've only worked in Spain on the supply side of things. I mean, getting product, because selling, obviously, we've done it on more than 60 countries, but the supply is going to be a challenge. So yeah, I would say Portugal would be scaling the product categories that we've got right now so that revenue increases, and then opening Portugal as a second country on the supply side.
And what do you need to do? What have you? Are you prepared for it already? Have you got the manpower to take on that challenge, or is there a lot that needs to be done before you get there?
I think we've got pretty much, I would say, about 80% of things that are needed, because logistically we are going to be managing that country from our premises and from our processing center in Madrid, which is where we're based. And then obviously you need to translate the website. Then you need to find marketplaces for which you can sell those products to Portugal, obviously internationally, like Brazil and everything, because we rely a lot on marketplaces, third-party marketplaces, to sell our products at the very beginning, although we will be putting a little bit more focus on our own channel in the months to come. But right now we rely on Amazon, eBay, and all those platforms. So yeah.
In regards to technology advancing at net-breaking pace right now, what kind of technologies do you feel you'll be using next year, and how will you keep Hamelyn up to date with the technological changes, advances?
So we've got a really strong technology, base in our company, because it's not an e-commerce, a traditional e-commerce site. We've got a processing technology, which is, first of all, the instant pricing technology. We aim to be able to give an instant valuation for anything you may want to sell. So whether it's books, whether it's clothes, electronics, or any other product. Then we've built we're actually building the processing technology, because once those products arrive at our premises, then we need to process them properly, give them physical condition and everything. And then the integrations with the different sales channels, which we've got like between 10 to 12 different sales channels with 400,000 product references, with products that are changing the whole time. These are big things. So those three things, they're all built in-house from our, by our technology team, which is 7 people right now. And so challenges would be to, scale that technology in order to meet the demand that we're going to be having next year. And then one more thing is AI. We'll use AI, but not right now for the main use. We're going to start giving AI in our companies by recommending products to our customers in our own channel. So if you go to Hamelyn.com, shop.hamelyn.com, which is our e-commerce site, and you've got to do a birthday present for a 14-year-old kid, next week, you just type in, and then we're going to give you options that we've got in our offer. So things like that, because there's loads of references in the book category, which probably, the largest in terms of product references, is probably the biggest in the world. So you can have millions of books and they all be different. So I think it's something that's going to give lots of value to our customers.
Valentin, you seem like a very energetic, very motivated entrepreneur to me. With this regard, what would you like your legacy to be? What is it that you want people to remember about you and Hamelyn?
Well, about me, you're a good person. I like, Hamelyn, we're trying to have an impact in the world in terms of having a mission that's going to be something that's going to be a positive impact in our society, in our world. And that is on the environment, because we sell secondhand, but also because you're offering very fast cash to customers when they want to sell, so that they can pay their bills. And then we're offering products at very, very low prices, so that they're accessible to basically everyone. Yeah, everyone, huge amounts of people. So I would want that the bigger that the company gets, the more impact that you have in the world. So it's like, it's not like, all right, so you donate 10% of your profits or 5% of your profits to know. I mean, I want a business model that itself is good for the society, for environment, for our world.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, two last questions for you here. I told you just before we came on air that our audience is based for also those looking to get into the world of startups. What would be your best bit of advice you could give those people looking to get into the world of startups right now? Which you wish maybe someone had told you and you didn't know?
Probably work at a startup at the very beginning, because you see the fast pace, you learn how things are done. It's not for everyone, definitely. So it's good that if you're finishing college and you're 21, 22, get into a startup that motivates you during several years. I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, and then you'll have a much clearer vision of what it is to launch a company and to work at a startup. And then once you've decided that you want to launch your own company, you're going to be here for the long term. It's not an easy task. There's going to be problems. So what I said before, which is high pain tolerance. So be prepared, because problems are gonna
definitely gonna come. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And last question for you, Valentin. I've been looking at that poster in the background throughout the whole of this interview, and I'm very interested. What is it saying? What does it represent to you?
Well, it's Tintin. That's one of the most famous characters in Spanish literature. Yeah. He's a reporter. Well, obviously he's a fictional character, but he's really famous character here in Spain. It's lots of stories were written
Right.
related to Tintin. Yeah, it's like a collection of books. Don't know when they were written, like 20, 30, 40 years ago. I don't know, even more probably, but they're really, really famous in Spain.
Interesting, very interesting. Tintin, very interesting name as well. Valentin, thank you so much for coming on. Valentin, co-founder of Hamelyn. Really been great to pick your brains. So thank you, Valentin.
Thanks for having me.